よく海外に来て、取材を受けると、あなたはどんな監督に憧れて映画監督になりたいと思ったんですかとか、どんな映画に影響を受けて、これを作ってるんですかとか、質問されるんですけれども、私にはそういうものが全くありません。じゃあどうして映画を作り始めることになったのかという。
Naomi Kawase is a Japanese film director from the rural region of Nara in Japan. She is a mere 52 years old with a list of almost 30 films under her belt and her 30 years of creating media content. Kawase attended the Osaka School of Photography, now called Visual Arts College Osaka, graduating in 1989. Originally, she studied television production, but soon developed an interest in film and decided to pursue that instead. By the time she had come into her passion as a director, documentaries were her main focus. Her first documentary, Embracing, recounts her father abandoning her as a child, and the trilogy called Katatsu Mori tells the story of her relationship with her great aunt, who raised Kawase after she was abandoned. These stories gave Kawase credibility, but what really put Kawase on the road to success was her film Suzaku. Suzaku was the first fiction story written by Kawase. It is about a small family dealing with love, death, and shame. Suzaku was so popularly received that it made Kawase the youngest person to receive the Camera d'Or Award, or Best New Director, at the 1997 Cannes Film Festival. Throughout the years of Kawase's career in film, she has also won the Grand Prix Award in 2007 at Cannes for the film The Morning Forest, and she was selected as the president of the jury for Cinefondation and short film selection in 2016 for Cannes. Most recently, in 2018, Kawase was selected to make the official film for the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo. This film is yet to be released because of the postponement of the Olympics due to the COVID-19 pandemic. I won't be getting into this though. Kawase has an interesting way of making her content because it is extremely driven by her own experiences in life, which makes the films that she has made very personal and intimate. She has made a collection of documentaries about her own childhood and her relationships with her family. The most influential of her biographical documentaries would have to be the trilogy about her relationship with her aunt, called Katatsu Mori, made in 1994, and then the sequel to that trilogy, titled Tarashime, in 2006. Kawase made her documentaries, especially the biographical ones, look and feel like home movies more than anything else. A handheld camera is used and expressed through the film by the choppy tracking and juggling of the camera as the person in front of the camera talks to the one recording. Her use of extreme close-ups forces the audience to look these people in the eyes, like we're actually standing in front of them. It almost feels like we are intruding on a moment between a niece and her aunt. Through these two works, Kawase presents two different versions of her childhood with her aunt. The first one was more of an obvious and amateur effort of a filmmaker testing their use of camera movements and angles. But the second installment, made 12 years after the first, showcases Kawase's growth as a director and her ability to gaze at her childhood through a different lens. Tarashime is presented to us with her warm yellows and happy children, while Katatsu Mori is cold and mature in places where it shouldn't be. Kawase has a natural ability to make intense films about kinship and family. The relationships between her characters are always deep and intimate. Kawase leaves no room for meaningless interactions between two people. She uses her documentarian style to show an air of familiarity and warmth within the interactions between her characters. The realness of the movements behind and in front of the screen can be felt through her documentaries and her nonfiction films. Kawase captures age and loneliness in such a way that those two things don't feel all that empty when you look at them from her point of view. Her film Sweet Bean, or An, portrays an old woman in search of a way to share her An, a sweet bean-filled pastry, with people. On her quest, she finds a lonely man who has been going through the motions of life and just running his bakery until he finds companionship and comfort with the woman who creates success in his little shop. Sweet Bean was extraordinary because of the realness it portrays of how people connect with each other and overcome loneliness. Kawase uses her documentarian style of filming for her fiction films, gravitating towards a use of more personal angles and showing relationships from the inside instead of looking in. From the beginning, Kawase has been vulnerable with her life, which in turn forms intimate relationships with all who watch her films.